Vulnerability. Everyone's doing it. Haven't you heard? Leave behind your stoicism. Shed that stiff upper lip. I'm trying to be vulnerable here is the cry of our modern heroes. And one of the easiest access points to vulnerability is storytelling. However, that begs the question, can you tell a personal story at work? This is a question that comes up a lot, and I understand why. It's a fine line between being vulnerable and oversharing. If you have a story you're not sure if you should share, here are 2 questions to ask yourself to make that decision. Question 1, am I comfortable with being remembered for this story? One of the most powerful things about telling stories is that they will be remembered. If there is a vulnerable, personal story you're considering telling, ask yourself if you're comfortable with that story going in your file or going on your permanent record in their memory. The people who hear it will remember it. That's just how it works. If you're comfortable with that, go ahead and go for it. Question 2. One type of story that is often an opportunity for vulnerability is a story of a time you failed or struggled or where things didn't turn out how you thought they would. And because, especially in a position of leadership, we want to portray unwavering strength, success, and wisdom, we question whether or not to tell these stories. If that's the crossroads you're facing, here's question 2. Could your story of struggle help? Could telling this story help guide them away from the pain you experienced? Could it help someone feel supported or understood? Could it be a point of inspiration for someone who is wondering how they could ever achieve what you have? For the people who need it, your story of struggle can be a gift. There are vulnerable stories people have shared with me, and I lean into those stories when I have hard times of my own. They become the building blocks of my own hope. There are people out there, yes, even in your office, who need your story so they can finish their own. And if you are brave enough, if you can be so generous to offer them that gift, your story of struggle, I don't think there's anything better one human can do for another than to share the story of how they overcame a challenge and what it looks like on the other side. If you're debating whether or not you should tell your personal story, ask yourself, could it help someone else? And if the answer is yes, you have your answer. Yes, vulnerability is valuable, but I would argue even more important are the stories you choose to share that allow people to understand you better, and in the process, understand themselves a little better as well.